Principle of trust building. Trust building involves establishing credibility, reliability, and integrity in business interactions. It entails consistent communication, meeting commitments, and demonstrating transparency to foster genuine connections and loyalty among customers and stakeholders. Principle of decision fatigue. Decision fatigue refers to the depletion of mental resources resulting from making numerous choices over time. It manifests as reduced cognitive capacity, impaired judgment, and increased susceptibility to making poor decisions. Businesses mitigate decision fatigue by simplifying options, providing guidance, and automating routine tasks to preserve mental energy. Principle of anchoring. Anchoring is the cognitive bias where individuals rely heavily on the first piece of information they receive when making decisions. In business, anchoring involves strategically setting reference points, such as initial prices or terms, to influence perceptions and shape subsequent choices in favor of the business's objectives. Principle of social proof. Social proof is the psychological phenomenon where people conform to the actions or opinions of others in ambiguous situations. In business, social proof is leveraged through testimonials, user-generated content, and social media influence to build credibility, trust, and validation among potential customers. Principle of reciprocity. Reciprocity is the social norm where individuals feel obliged to return favors or gestures of goodwill. In business, reciprocity is employed through acts of generosity, such as offering free samples, valuable content, or personalized experiences to foster positive relationships and encourage future engagement or purchases. Principle of scarcity. Scarcity involves creating a sense of limited availability or exclusivity to increase perceived value and drive demand. Businesses utilize scarcity tactics, such as limited time offers, exclusive access, or limited edition products to prompt urgency and spur purchasing decisions among consumers. Principle of priming. Priming is the psychological phenomenon where exposure to certain stimuli influences subsequent behavior or perception. In business, priming involves using subtle cues, such as colors, imagery, or language, to evoke specific emotions, associations, or expectations that shape consumer attitudes and preferences. Principle of cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance occurs when individuals experience discomfort due to conflicting beliefs, attitudes, or behaviors. In business, cognitive dissonance is addressed by providing rationalizations, justifications, or additional information to reconcile inconsistencies and alleviate psychological tension, thus reinforcing customer satisfaction and loyalty. Principle of loss aversion. Loss aversion refers to the tendency for individuals to weigh potential losses more heavily than equivalent gains. Businesses leverage loss aversion by framing messages in terms of risk avoidance, highlighting potential losses, or offering guarantees to mitigate perceived risks and incentivize desired actions from consumers. Principle of authority. Authority bias is the inclination to defer to individuals perceived as experts or possessing authority. In business, authority is established through credentials, endorsements, or social status, influencing consumer trust, confidence, and compliance with recommendations or directives. Principle of emotional contagion. Emotional contagion is the spread of emotions from one person to others within a social context. In business, emotional contagion is harnessed through empathetic communication, engaging storytelling, or positive interactions to evoke desired emotional responses and foster connection, empathy, and rapport with customers. Principle of brand consistency. Brand consistency involves maintaining uniformity and coherence in brand identity, messaging, and experiences across various touchpoints. It reinforces brand recognition, credibility, and trust among consumers, facilitating loyalty, preference, and advocacy over time. Principle of habit formation. Habit formation involves the development of automatic, repetitive behaviors in response to contextual cues or rewards. In business, habit formation is cultivated through seamless experiences, personalized recommendations, or rewards programs that encourage repeat engagement and reinforce desired behaviors among customers. Principle of cognitive biases. Cognitive biases are systematic patterns of deviation from rationality in decision-making. In business, understanding cognitive biases, such as confirmation bias or availability heuristic, enables organizations to anticipate, mitigate, or exploit these biases to influence consumer perceptions, preferences, and actions effectively. Principle of delayed gratification. Delayed gratification involves resisting immediate rewards in favor of larger, long-term benefits. In business, fostering delayed gratification is achieved by promoting value, investing in relationship building, or offering incentives for sustained engagement or loyalty, ultimately driving greater customer satisfaction and lifetime value. Principle of self-image. Self-image refers to an individual's perception of themselves and their desired identity or social role. In business, aligning products, messaging, or experiences with consumers' self-image or aspirational identities enhances relevance, resonance, and emotional connection, driving preference and loyalty. Principle of endowment effect. The endowment effect is the tendency for individuals to value possessions they own more than equivalent items they do not own. In business, leveraging the endowment effect involves providing trial periods, customization options, or risk-free guarantees to facilitate ownership experiences, reduce purchase reluctance, and increase perceived value among consumers. Principle of prospect theory. Prospect theory describes how individuals evaluate and weigh potential outcomes based on perceived gains and losses. In business, framing offers, pricing, or messaging in alignment with prospect theory principles maximizes perceived value, minimizes risk perception, and enhances decision-making outcomes for consumers. Principle of framing. Framing involves presenting information in a way that influences how it is interpreted or perceived. In business, framing messages positively, emphasizing benefits, or reframing challenges as opportunities optimizes communication effectiveness, shaping consumer attitudes, behaviors, and decision-making processes. Principle of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a psychological theory outlining human motivation and fulfillment based on a hierarchical structure of fundamental needs. In business, addressing consumers' physiological, safety, belonging, esteem, and self-actualization needs informs product development, marketing strategies, and customer experiences to resonate with deeper motivations and drive satisfaction and loyalty. Principle of in-group bias. In-group bias is the tendency for individuals to favor members of their own group over outsiders. In business, fostering a sense of community, belonging, or shared identity among customers cultivates loyalty, advocacy, and engagement, driving brand affinity and long-term relationships. Principle of neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize and adapt in response to experiences or environmental changes. In business, promoting neuroplasticity involves fostering a culture of learning, innovation, or continuous improvement that enables adaptability, creativity, and resilience in navigating challenges and driving sustainable growth. Principle of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence refers to the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions and those of others effectively. In business, fostering emotional intelligence among leaders and employees enhances communication, collaboration, and relationship building, driving productivity, morale, and organizational success. Principle of equity theory. Equity theory posits that individuals strive for fairness and balance in social exchanges and relationships. In business, applying equity theory principles involves ensuring fairness in rewards, recognition, or opportunities to foster trust, satisfaction, and commitment among employees and stakeholders. Principle of goal setting. Goal setting involves establishing specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound objectives to guide behavior and performance. In business, setting SMART goals aligns efforts, motivates action, and fosters accountability, driving progress, innovation, and success across teams and organizations. Principle of cognitive load. Cognitive load refers to the mental effort required to process information and perform tasks effectively. In business, reducing cognitive load through clear communication, intuitive design, or streamlined processes enhances user experience, decision-making, and productivity, optimizing outcomes for customers and employees alike. Principle of psychological safety. Psychological safety is the perception of an environment where individuals feel safe to take interpersonal risks, express ideas, or voice concerns without fear of negative consequences. In business, prioritizing psychological safety cultivates trust, collaboration, and innovation, empowering employees to contribute fully and thrive in their roles.